Too much earth and it turns into a desert, hot, dry, and dull. Too much water and it turns into a mudslide. Everything goes downhill. But just the right correlation of these two elements, and life's a beach.
I'm looking for the heart in you. Sometimes I don't know what to do. Baby, looking when you ain't looking. So if you want it, you better try.
Cancer, dealing with your Virgo, significant other or lover. Let's get into it. So, when you are dealing with a Virgo, you're going to notice some similarities about them and yourself, right? One of them will be when it comes to planning things. See, whether people know this or not, I'm pretty sure if you're following astrology and you're watching this channel, you do know this, or if you're here just learning something, here goes a gem, right? Cancers do use strategy when it comes to planning things out because they don't like to come out of their shell, come out of their house just for any type of frivolities or something like that. I butchered that word, right? But things that are frivolous, all right? They actually think about, okay, what is it that I'm going out here for? Am I going out here for some type of security? And if not, then this better at least be some type of shindig that I can present myself, rub some shoulders, and find some new experiences or find some new people that I can converse with so I can get to that security. You understand what I'm saying? Or else they'll just play the lab. They'll just be at home with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, whatever it is that floats their boat, some food, and more food, and just cleaning and doing all of the domestic stuff, and nobody know where they at, or unless you really know them, then you know they home, or one of their homes, or something like that, right? This is how Cancer moves. So, although the planning may be coming from a heartfelt place, right, it still has some type of strategy put into it. And this is where your Virgo person is going to show out for you, Cancer. You're going to be like, yo, you're going to see that same type of ability with them. It's just going to be sharper, a little bit more concise. Now, some things that may, and I can't even say that it will conflict with the way you do either. Because it's like Cancers, right? Cancers like to move sideways the same way that the crab does. So there is a cautious element that's related to Cancer as well. Sure, they can be off the hinges and very impulsive. However, at the same time, it's not like they haven't premeditated. And I know some of y'all Cancers are probably like, don't use that word. You know what I'm saying? Since y'all the most wanted on the FBI and all of that. Most dangerous on the FBI list, excuse me. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, there are times when you approach things sideways most of the times because you do have this cautious temperament that says, let me figure this out before I just go right out there. You understand what I'm saying? And then there's other times where I guess where the moon is wherever it's at and you just can't help yourself. So what I'm saying here is this: Virgos participate and contribute to the relationship in the same types of way, and you'll notice this about them. They'll bring up certain things of weighing pros and cons, and they'll be conversing about this with you to the point where you're going to be like, you're just like me, at least in this area. You get what I'm saying? That's going to be cool. So when it comes to planning an event, you can actually rely on this individual to put their opinion and put their input into what it is that you're trying to do should you need some type of assistance. So this would be the type of acquaintance, right? Keyword here, acquaintance, that can do these things for you. Now, doing this continuously, repetitiously, will result in the bond becoming stronger. I would say this though, Cancer, and this would be a red flag on your behalf, right? Is that if you enjoy this individual's conversation to the point so much in the beginning where you get attached to them quickly, that's a red flag for you. Get yourself out of there. And that is because Virgo is not going to warm up to you that fast. All right. So it's the same way. It's not the same way. Similar to how you use sentiment, how you use emotion to fill people's characters out, Cancer. The Virgo is doing this in their head. All right. So they will be there for you to service you in any type of assistance related to the things that I mentioned already. Right. And they'll do that for you. And then you'll be like, oh, that was so genuine of them. You know what I'm saying? That was so heartfelt of them. You understand what I'm saying? And then when you like try to reach back out or like continue the conversation, that's it. They're gone. They done. Virgo is out. They might not answer their phone. and you might call them at like 9:10. They went to sleep at 9 o'clock and they're serious about going to sleep at 9 o'clock. There is no 9:05, 9:10 reaching Virgo. It's done. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Even if they see your phone and they see it's you, they like, that's it. 9 o'clock. And if you ask them, you question them about it, 9 o'clock is that's my limit. You called at 9:03. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, that's you cutting into my, you can't, hey, whoa. You know what I'm saying? So you can take that as a type of insult, or you know what I'm saying, or just take it to the heart and just be like, well, man, that's brutal, that's harsh. You know what I'm saying? And don't do that, because they're really just being who they are. They don't mind servicing you. They don't mind helping you when it comes to that, but they are not close to you like that yet. You understand what I'm saying? So now, moving forward on from that, the same approach that comes with the planning, the same similarities apply when it comes to decision making. So it's similar to what I said. You know what I'm saying? You go out is probably to secure something that makes you feel more secure at home, and at the same time being able to go into an environment that enables those types of assets or things of that nature to come your way, right? So Virgo is going to be doing the same thing when it comes to decision making. Again, they're going to be weighing the pros and the cons. What is the benefits of me doing this? What can possibly go wrong? Now, this is where things get a little different between you two, is because Virgos might overthink this thing and you're using your heart. So this is where the two of you may clash. Because if you're doing something in a partnership type setting, right, you may get a little bit like, all right, calm down now, because you're talking about this, that, who's thinking about, like, who does that, who thinks about that possibly happening, or that. It's like the Final Destination movie or something like that. Like, Virgo will think of all of those things, and you're just like, geez, you trying to make me not go, or you trying to make me not do this? You know what I'm saying? So there are going to come times where your emotional intelligence and your instinct is going to have to overpower what this Virgo is saying and to you, and thinking that you should move on that accord, only because it's still your soul. All right, you can't live for other people until you live for yourself, right? It's like pouring from an empty cup. You got to take care of you, and then you support the other. So it's not that you should look at them as that they're doing something wrong, though. You know, it's not. It's just them being them. They're going to you, it may be a bit extra. To the average person, it may be a bit extra, right? However, that's how they move. That's how they calculate things. This is why sometimes they have trouble getting sleep and everything, because they're still, even at 9:03, thinking about these pros and these cons. You understand what I'm saying? What could potentially happen? So again, when it comes to survival skills and all of that, Cancer, you are very strong on the Zodiac wheel. So it may pertain to one of those things to where you had to say, well, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. Like, I'm glad you actually think about that. You're worried and you're concerned, but the worrying part might prevent you from doing something that can actually catapult you and strengthen you. You get what I'm saying? So if you find the Virgo doing that excessively, that's a red flag. Get out of there. And it might be a momentary thing. You understand what I'm saying? Just voice it to them. They're going to accept it or reject it. And 9 times out of 10, Virgo's just going to accept it because you said what you said. You understand what I'm saying? So another thing that you may find a commonality about, and although you are a family person, Cancer, if there are any relatives that you just be like, yo, look at this one, like, why they got to do that? Like at the barbecue or at the family function, you got to be like, yo, my cousin always got, or your siblings even, you can be critical of them. You understand what I'm saying? The Virgo individual that you're dealing with can be the same way and be like pulling your coat about like, yo, why your cousin act like that? Like, oh, why your aunt is so extra? Be like, yo, she's like that all the time. And you be like, yeah, it's like that all the time. And y'all might find a common bond when it comes to actually criticizing the people that's in your family. It's probably going to be your siblings or your cousins or something like that. You know what I mean? But it can be something that's laughed about. It could be something that's taken lightly, of course, unless it's one of the family members that you favor more, and then it's going to be an emotional sparring thing that you attack the Virgo, and the Virgo is going to be very heady and be like, well, I said what I said, don't take it to heart and things of that nature. So this is where the real challenge comes in, from Virgo being primarily in their head and you being in your heart. I would say to keep this thing light, because more than likely you're going to find that you'll feel, how should I say, maybe disappointed or maybe just a little less leverage than Virgo is in this sector, because we're talking about communication here heavy, and that sign is ruled by Mercury, you're ruled by the moon. So you put it together, connect the dots, you understand exactly what I'm saying, right? That's it.